You download Hinge, you pick your 5 best photos, but really they were probably the only 5 recent photos of yourself that you had. You fill out the prompts, set the radius, and hit publish. A week goes by, 3 matches, and one of them is a bot. So you think, okay, I just need better pictures. You book a trip, get a friend to take pictures for you, and come back with a whole new set. You upload them, and you get the same results. If that sounds familiar, I was you. And if you still think better pictures are the solution,
you are dead wrong.
Most guys who fail on dating apps aren't failing because of bad photos. They're failing because of bad photos and everything else. When I first started using dating apps back in 2019, I thought the same way. In fact, I was trying to be smart. I didn't even bother going on the apps until I thought I had what were good photos. They weren't. And it wasn't until after spending years on dating apps and going on hundreds of dates that I realized what I was doing wrong right from the beginning, and why most guys will never figure it out. Initially, I thought you just needed some pictures that weren't selfies, and that was good enough. Like most guys, I did not have any good pictures when I was starting. All my photos were taken by my mom or my friends under unflattering circumstances. So I booked a trip to Miami and prepared. I lost a few pounds, got a haircut, and took off my glasses during pictures to avoid looking like a nerdy Asian guy. It's the typical advice you get from your friends who really don't know much better. And these were the pictures that I ended up with. Compared to what I had before, these were a massive upgrade. This is what most guys would consider good, but it wasn't enough. In the 2 months that I was using apps, I barely got 20 matches, and most of them were from girls at the same university. Most of the girls didn't even reply to my first message. The pictures that I thought were good did nothing for me. But now I understand exactly what the problem was. The issue is simple. These photos simply do not signal what women are selecting for on dating apps. And I don't blame guys for not knowing this. It wasn't until I got thousands of likes that I understood how women perceived us men on dating apps. As men, we know what we want from women. It's pretty simple. It's mainly about looks. And despite what women say about men only caring about looks, we actually do care about their personality and behavior as well. Some guys also care about things like body count, but it mainly is the first two. So for men, attraction is relatively simple. But for women, it's a little more complicated. Like men, women also care about looks, but they also care about money. And not just what you have, but how much you spend on them. A man's status is also much more relevant to women than a woman's status is to men. And on top of that, unlike men who typically have a low bar for what good sex is, the women who care about it a lot. So it matters if you look like you're good at it to these women. And of course, personality and behavior also matter to women, but that's not something that can be reliably conveyed through photos, so we won't discuss that much in this video. So on top of women caring about more factors than men, they also have relatively high expectations for each of them. We know that even average women get thousands of likes on dating apps. And these likes include ones from very attractive men or even average looking simps that offer expensive dates. So it's natural for women to pick from the best of their options, or at least what they perceive to be the best of their options. That means when a woman sees your dating app photo, she's not just considering, is this a good or bad photo objectively? She's comparing you to your other options. She's asking, does this guy look better than my existing options? Does this guy look like he can provide a better lifestyle than my existing options? Does he look more impressive than my other options? Does this guy look like he's better in bed than my existing options? That means on dating apps, a completely average guy is undateable to the majority of women, because compared to the average woman's options, you're considered not worth their time. For men, this can be hard to internalize because our bar for undateable is quite low. Looks-wise, most guys are okay with completely average looking girls. Some guys are even okay with unattractive girls because to them, some action is better than no action. But that is not the case for women. For women on dating apps, an average guy with average pictures offering a coffee date does not fulfill any of the criteria for attraction. To put it in terms that most guys would intuitively understand, to women, the average guy is the equivalent of an unattractive single mom that wants you to take her and her kids to an expensive dinner for the first date. It's high risk and low potential reward. It doesn't even take a split second for you to know that it's a bad deal. Men know this type of woman offers little value to them, just like how women perceive average men as also offering nothing worthwhile. So for a guy to get results on dating apps, your photos need a signal that you're able to provide her with what she wants at a higher probability than her other options, which is your competition. Your photos need to portray you as a guy that looks good, looks like he can upgrade her lifestyle, looks like someone that her friends and family will be impressed with, and looks like you'd be good in bed. Of course, you don't need all these signals, but you need to convey at least one to get some results. And notice that I say looks like, because that's what matters for dating app photos. As I've said, it does not matter to women that you have money. It matters to her if it's going to benefit her in some way. So it comes down to how effectively you can convey these attractive traits in your photos without misrepresenting yourself. When it comes to evaluating the effectiveness of a dating app photo, I consider 3 factors: how they convey your looks, how they convey your lifestyle, and the inherent quality of the photo. Your looks cannot be easily changed in the context of dating app photos without catfishing, but for guys that do have money and are willing to spend it on dating, you need to effectively leverage that in your photos. You can pose with premium upscale backgrounds or even well-known travel destinations to signal that you're a guy that has a lifestyle that's worth being part of. Now, I'm sure some guys are here to say, but I don't want a gold digger. I want them to like me for me. But the truth is, all women care about money to some degree. That's something you'll have to accept. The difference is just how much and how obvious they are about it. If you have money, but you're not willing to flex it even a bit, it's like a girl with no clear photos of herself on dating apps because she doesn't want guys to want her for her looks. It sounds good in theory, but it's not going to work in practice. Photo quality is also related to lifestyle signaling because it indicates intentionality and your willingness to put an effort into dating. However, it needs to be leveraged in conjunction with a good perception of one of the other 2 factors, or else it will be seen as compensating. Now here's a quick hands-on guide for photo quality. First off, let's see if you can identify what is wrong with this photo. It's a mirror selfie, which we generally want to avoid as it is hard to pull off well. Now what about this photo? The background is messy. We generally want a clean, non-distracting background. But now this photo is boring. What if we switch to a more unique background? Imagine you're on vacation in Paris and you take this photo. What's wrong with this? The background is still generic. Ideally, you want to pose with something more unique, even if it's a bit cliche. You also want to keep composition in mind. Make sure the relevant foreground and background elements are properly positioned in the image. Now, people often forget this last one. Can you identify what's wrong with this photo? His outfit is sloppy. Your outfit actually matters in photos, so don't just wear whatever. In my initial photos that I thought were good, my looks were average, my lifestyle looked average, and the photo quality was just barely above a selfie, which is not enough to differentiate me from the competition, and that is why I did not get any results, despite having objectively decent photos. To get results on dating apps, you need to optimize at least 2 of these 3 factors, or at least one of the first 2. Photo quality is just a multiplier. If your photos do not signal at least one of these, then you're invisible. I got much better results on dating apps later on because I actually made my photos competitive. I improved my perceived looks, I improved my perceived lifestyle, and I improved the photo quality of my photos, all to the point that differentiated myself from the profiles of other men in my area. Improving my photos in all these 3 aspects was the driving factor behind me going from getting barely 20 matches in 2 months to going on over 20 dates in 2 months. You can check my video on my analysis for that right here. Of course, there are other factors involved, but that's beyond the scope of this video. So if you're an average looking guy and you just get a haircut and throw on a random outfit and take some photos on your annual spring break trip like I did, then it won't be enough to make a difference. If any guy can do it on a random weekend, it won't be enough to differentiate you. Dating is a competition, and you need to decide if you want to participate. So as obvious as it sounds, in order to get results on dating apps, you need to look better than most men, and you need to look like you can provide better experiences to women than most men. After that, it's just a matter of taking photos that effectively convey this information. For guys that think it's worth it, this is what you need to do. For others, you can get your needs met elsewhere. Now I'll be taking submissions to assess your dating app photos using my 3-factor framework in a future video. So if you're interested in that, the link is in the description. I'll also be releasing a more in-depth video about my dating app transformation over the summer. Basically a more in-depth version of this video here. So make sure to subscribe for that.